I know.
Yeah.
It's mine, okay?
It made me jump.
I'm sorry. What's up, guys? This is the first episode of Drink or Drive podcast. I'm Frank Orlando. I'm here with my guest, James Wehr. James, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Couldn't think of anybody other than you to have on the first episode.
Appreciate that.
You run the biggest weekly car show, correct?
Yeah, South OC Cars and Coffee, biggest weekly car show in the world.
Awesome. I know you are so involved in the car scene and just with the community. I really wanted to bring you on because I made an amazing drink based off of your Audi R8. That's what I kind of want to get into on Drink or Drive. That's what we do. I make a cocktail, I base it on your car, and we'll see if you let me drive your vehicle.
Perfect, let's do it.
We're going to get right into this. This drink that I created for James is the Blacklist Old Fashioned. What's the color of your car?
Black.
And I have a list of ingredients that's going in this freaking drink. I wanted to make something a little extra special for you today. This is gonna be a very boozy, spirit-forward drink. The ingredients that I'm putting in it kind of match to what you have in your car. So first off, I'm gonna add fresh maple syrup to the drink. This is kind of bring the drink all together because I am using some stronger ingredients in it. You need that little bit of sweetness in there too.
Whistle Pig is kind of crazy for making maple syrup.
Yeah, so instead of using like a simple syrup as you would typically do, I wanted to use maple syrup that's actually aged as well too, so it's gonna add a little more depth to the flavor. So I'm gonna just do a bar spoon of maple syrup right into the drink here. With this drink, I wanted to use Black Walnut Bitters.
Very cool.
And do you want to know why I wanted to use this in the drink?
Because it's the fucking Blacklist, baby.
Because it's the Blacklist, all right? Black Walnut Bitters, right? Now, I'm going to do 2 dashes of Black Walnut Bitters in this. So boom, boom. 2 nice bitters, right? So I'm gonna use 2 ounces of Buffalo Trace Kentucky bourbon. Now you can use whatever bourbon you would like. I typically think bourbon over a rye, and this kind of drink's gonna go a little bit better. Now I'm not sponsored by Buffalo Trace, but if you guys wanna sponsor me for the next video, not yet. But for this, you're gonna use 2 ounces Buffalo Trace bourbon. Gonna add that right in right there. Don't be shy. If you want to use a little more, you can use a little more. But, you know, for the sake of today, we're gonna go about 2 ounces right in there.
See, that's perfect. You know I'm a big whiskey guy.
Yeah.
You know me too well.
No,
you know me too well.
Now, next up, you have a supercharger on your car, correct?
I do,
right?
yes.
Now that thing hits hard. What we're putting in there, green Chartreuse. Do you know about this?
I do, yes. The French monks make this.
Yes.
Isn't it 50 different herbs and...
130.
130.
130,
I'm
yeah.
way
You're
off.
just like way off. Not that big of a deal. This basically is a really crucial ingredient here. So with this, we're gonna use a 1/2 ounce. Add that right in.
Yep, looks great. That stuff smells crazy too.
Yeah, it is really delicious. I love telling people that don't know about green Chartreuse, it is absolutely delicious. So when you're building this at home, you're just gonna be like, wow, Frank. I'll be like, yeah, I told you so, no big deal. So, all right, next up, Averna Amaro. This is a Sicilian Amaro right here. I am Sicilian, so I love using different Amaros.
Yep.
It's got some bitteriness, it's got some sweetness to it. I chose to do an Averna Amaro because it has that little bit darker of a color. What's the color of your car? Is it Mythos Black?
Mythos Black, yeah.
Mythos Black, right?
You did your research, that's impressive.
I did do a little research. This is almost like a Mythos Black. A little bitter, a little sweet. So we're gonna be using a 1/2 ounce of the Averna Amaro. So equal part Chartreuse, equal part Amaro right there. And then after that, we've got all the ingredients here. We've got Whistle Pig Barrel Aged Maple Syrup. I got Black Walnut Bitters. You can pick this up at any liquor store. I got a nice Buffalo Trace bourbon right here. Use whatever bourbon you like, but I like this Kentucky bourbon right there. Chartreuse, made by the French monks. You really need this in there as well. And nice Italian Averna Amaro. So that's all the ingredients. Now, once you have that in your Yari, which is this mixing glass right here, we're gonna add some ice to this. Doesn't have to be anything special, whatever. All right, so now that we have the ice in, you want to take your bar spoon and we want to give that a nice stir. So typically I like stirring cocktails for 10 to 15 seconds, somewhere right around there. Because the thing is you want to dilute this a little bit, right, with the ice. Like, all those ingredients that I just added in there are extremely strong. Like, I don't know if you could get up out of your chair if you were, to be honest with you, right? So, I don't know. So I wanted, we got to give this a nice little dilution right here. So I think that's going to be good right there. So after that, we're going to take a nice big ice cube. Now, I'm a little bougie, so I opted to make some clear ice cubes right there.
Wow, look at that.
I don't know if you can see that, but I don't know if you can see the clearness right there.
That's impressive.
So boom. Let's
Good enough.
there we go. Yeah,
Close enough.
Yeah, we got a nice big clear cube in there, right? It's close enough.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, drink's already built, right? We're just gonna strain this out right here, right on top.
Look at the color of that.
Right.
Oh, that's crazy.
Is that like Mythos Black?
It is.
Kinda, a little lighter though, right?
A little bit lighter, but it looks great.
You see this little barrel in the background right here? This is a freaking smoker right here. So we got different flavors. For your drink, I kind of wanted to go with something a little bit more like, a little bit more hickory on the flavor.
I think so.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the top. Comes with like a nice little topper right there that you just put right on top. Too easy. Take the hickory chips right here. You wanna give it a little smell first?
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
You feel like
great.
dabbling in this?
Yes, I do.
You feel like dabbling in this a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Let's smoke it.
Well, let's just smoke it away, my guy. Let's smoke it away. Hickory right there. We got your little torch right here. And let's smoke. So,
You can actually see it going down in the glass. That's
yeah,
crazy.
kind of see it going down in the glass. We're gonna let that smoke in right there. And while we let that smoke and kind of absorb all that flavor, always with old fashions, you gotta have a little citrus that you kind of peel on there. Now, the cherries right here, maraschino, Luxardo cherries. These cherries are absolutely the ones that you're gonna wanna use. If you go to any fancy restaurant or any like craft cocktail bar, you're absolutely gonna have a maraschino Luxardo cherry. If they're putting the other ones in that you get for Shirley Temples, it's like, dude, no.
You're in a dive bar.
Yeah,
You're in a
basically,
dive bar.
yeah, get fucked. Drink, already smoked up. Now we're gonna take this off.
We need smell-o-vision because these guys would love the smell in here right
Oh
now.
yeah, give myself a nice little peel.
Like a true professional. Look at that.
Oof. See that zest right there?
See, you're a zesty guy, so you know it makes.
I've been told before I've been pretty zesty, right?
Oh,
all
look at
right.
that.
So we're gonna give that a nice little twist like that, right on top. We're gonna come in with the cherries. Absolutely huge.
Are we compensating for something?
Right?
Look at these pincers,
Tweezers,
bro.
yeah, these are
Crazy.
absolutely gigantic. But you know what? Who cares? You
Are
know,
those also from Amazon?
Yeah, they actually are. You know, if I have the link, I'll put it below. Yeah,
I think I have the same
Oh,
ones.
perfect.
I'm also compensating.
Yeah, I bet you are, buddy. I bet you are. And that's it. So after all done, I mean, this is the Blacklist Old Fashioned right here. You got all the ingredients that are in. The real big question is today is, are you going to drink this drink and let me drive your car? Or are you just going to let this drink sit here and just have so many good flavors?
Give me the drink.
You want the drink?
Here. I'll give you my keys. Oh, wait. Where are they? There you go.
Oh my. Wait, this is for a Prius.
It is, yeah. I didn't bring the R8 today.
All right, so that's it right there. All right, cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Enjoy. Cheers.
Cheers. That is crazy. That is insanely good. This is by far the best one that I've had.
Okay,
so
good.
You enjoy the car.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Now that we've made this Blacklist Old Fashioned, I want to know more about your car, and I don't want to just know more about your car, buddy. I want to know more about you, okay?
Let's do it.
So James, what you got going on with this Audi R8? Please tell me.
It's probably the most reliable car that I bought, funny enough, even though I've modded the absolute shit out of it. It's fantastic. I mean, it has the 5.2 liter V10, revs to 9,000 RPM.
Which is wild, 9,000 RPM. I mean, my S2000 redlines at 9,000 RPMs, but like, I didn't even know that it went to 9,000.
It's pretty crazy.
Okay,
I didn't
cool.
actually know that it revved to 9,000 RPM until I bought the car, and then I looked and I was like, oh shit, like I can really rev this thing.
So you basically didn't look at the tachometer and see that it went up to 9,000 RPMs?
No,
I
didn't.
You need glasses?
Yeah, no, I bought the car sight unseen actually.
Oh, you did?
I'd never driven one. I was like, hey, this thing looks cool. Yeah, buy.
Really?
Yeah.
Where'd you buy it from?
I bought it from Luxury Auto Collection in Arizona. So they're like a bespoke, supercar facility.
A lot of high-end cars and all that.
And honestly, I just didn't look back. It was the best decision I ever made. Not from just like a, hey, this is a cool car standpoint, but also from a business standpoint. I realized I obviously you and I used to work together.
Yeah.
And then I transitioned into like out of the restaurant space and fully into digital marketing. And I realized, these companies weren't really taking me seriously because I was young. I was 21 when I bought that car. And I'm like, okay, so, I've saved up a little bit of money. How can I get the attention of the people that I want to be working with? And I realized, okay, maybe if I buy a supercar, they're going to take me seriously. I'll be let into, kind of this exclusive group of, people that own supercars, and much more than that, the young group of people that actually bought their cars.
Not like the mommy and daddy's money, and all that.
Exactly.
It's like, hey, I worked myself up to get this car.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'd worked for years and saved a ton of money as much as I possibly could. Like, I saved hard and worked my ass off to get that car. So actually getting it felt pretty good, but, I wanted to make sure that I could be taken seriously in that space. And I bought that car, and it just like I thought would happen. You know, these older guys that I wanted to talk to, that own these businesses that I wanted to work with, actually started listening to me and taking me seriously, because they're saying, oh, you know, this kid's driving a, you know, $200,000, $150,000 car, whatever. He must be doing something right. So
no, I took you seriously though, even when you had the Camaro. So let's just
I appreciate it.
I'm the real day one over here. Can we point that out?
No, you are. I mean, I've known you for what, like 6 years now? Like,
Yeah,
it's been a while.
there. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I've had the car for 5 years, no issues with it. It's been undoubtedly the most reliable car that I've ever had. 64,800 miles on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when you bought it, how many?
I honestly don't remember. It was like low teens.
Okay.
I want to say it was like 13.
So you've actually drove the car.
I think I've put about 50,000 miles on it.
Okay, cool. Because you see a lot of these guys that get these cars, they literally let them sit in the garage.
Stupid.
They take them to the car show over the weekend, and then they just drive them home, and that's it. They don't drive them.
It is. I think you're doing a disservice to the car to own a vehicle like that and not to actually drive it. You know, it's just, it's, I think, I don't want to say it's, I wouldn't say it's necessarily irresponsible as an owner, but I think that you're spending far too much money for far too little enjoyment of a car if you don't actually properly enjoy it.
Exactly.
Like everyone that I've talked to that I've told, hey, you know, I've put 50,000 miles just during my ownership cycle. You know, I was the second owner. They were like, oh my God, I can't believe you know, buy a car and put that many miles on it. It devalues it. And it's like, well, I think you're kind of a fucking idiot. Excuse the language.
No, it's fine.
If you buy a car like that and you don't drive it.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
No, it doesn't.
It makes no sense. I think it's you know, just the wrong way to go about it. I understand, like, if you can't afford the car and you're banking on that as an investment, that's one thing. But if you're buying a car to, you know, figure out how to make it work for you and how to benefit from owning that car, you should be driving it. It's been on 4 Gold Rush rallies. It's been on 3 trips up to Monterey. I've had the car in a ton of different states. I've driven it through Arizona, through New Mexico, through Florida, through the entire Bible Belt down the East Coast. I mean, I've literally driven that car on every big road in the U.S. and no issues. It's been great. Yeah,
it's amazing. Now, you have it supercharged.
I do, yeah.
So a lot of times when people are like, oh, you're adding, you know, forced induction, turbocharger, supercharger, everyone's like, oh, it makes the car unreliable. What's the deal? Like, so what is your experience with the supercharger? How many miles have you had on the supercharger now?
So I've put 40,000 miles on the car with the supercharger.
With the supercharger,
yeah, with the blower on it, yeah. And I've
VF Engineering, correct?
VF Engineering,
Let's talk a little bit about them though too, because like you work for VF Engineering as well too, correct? What do they do?
Yeah, so I own a marketing agency. They're clients of mine. So my agency handles their short form content. You know, all the social media and stuff around VF Engineering. So they make obviously the V10 supercharger, but more so than that, I mean, they're essentially anything that you want for a really high-end European sports car. They make suspension, wheels, exhaust, superchargers, and software.
Okay.
So kind of everything across the board. You can take your car to VF Engineering. You can bring it in, have them lower it, put it on wheels. You know, make it sound great, make it perform great. Everything, all the validation, all the dyno testing. They're one of the only people.
It's like a one-stop shop, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay,
you can do everything in one place. You know, they've been
now,
around for 25 years.
This is only for like higher-end supercars, though. Porsches, you know, R8s and that sort of favor, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, all that type of stuff, right?
Yeah, it's
so I can't take the
S2000
stuff there?
Unfortunately not.
No,
while I would love to do your S2K, unless you put a V10 in it, which you could.
Which I could.
You could put a V10 in it.
But honestly, let's be real, dude, I'd probably shit my pants.
You probably would.
No, I would.
But I think that would be probably the most ridiculous S2K on the planet.
No, some people have done swaps with Viper V10 engines and that.
Look, if you can fit a Viper V10, you can fit an Audi V10.
No, I know I could.
That engine is tiny. It's only 5 liters.
Are you going to sponsor and pay for this build of mine or what?
No, the Drink or Drive podcast is going to sponsor it and do it for you.
Hey,
the
guys,
Buffalo Trace sponsorship.
Yeah,
Shout out
you know
Buffalo
what?
Trace.
Hey guys, subscribe, like, share, all that stuff because I'm trying to get myself a friggin' VF engineered supercharged S2000.
V10 S2K.
So however we can make that happen.
Yeah. So the nice thing about the supercharger for this car is that it doesn't push the car to the limits.
Yeah. And so just driving the car at a normal pace, like you wouldn't even know the supercharger's on there, right?
No.
You just drive it at a conservative, kind of in like a turtle mode, or what kind of modes is on that car?
In comfort. So you have comfort, auto, and dynamic. So the auto mode, it'll toggle between comfort or dynamic depending on how you've driven over the like previous drive cycle of the car. So if it notices that you're bombing into turns fast and accelerating hard, it's going to automatically put you in dynamic or drop you out into comfort. I only leave that car in dynamic because it's not my daily driver anymore. I have an RS6, which I love. And I really only drive that thing,
that's
3 or 4 times a week.
Car, right?
It's the Dadmobile.
You're not
my dad wagon.
But, yeah.
Dude, that's a pretty fucking cool dad wagon. I love that car.
Trust me,
800 horsepower.
I want that car so bad.
They're very, very attractive cars for the money. It's essentially a Urus. I mean, it has the 4-liter twin turbo. It makes, around 600, I think it's 560 to 580 horsepower out of the box. Yeah. You add downpipes and software, you're making 800
Now,
horsepower.
what motor's on that car?
It's the 4-liter twin turbo V8. So
Okay.
it's the VAG 4-liter. So it's native to like the RS7. It's actually probably the most widely used motor in any of the cars that VAG has put out, Volkswagen Automotive. It's in the RS6, RS7. It was in the original S7, the original RS7, the original S6. I want to say not just Audi. It was in the Bentley Bentayga, the Bentley the Continental. It was in the Cayenne and the Panamera. It was in the Urus. It's been in. I mean, just about every kind of car that these people have put out in like the luxury or like the performance SUV or performance sedan range.
Okay,
I mean,
so
it's been used
it's a great
in,
motor in that car.
It's fantastic. I have 37,000 miles on that car and no issues.
Yeah, that car, I remember when we had talked about that car before you had even gotten that thing.
Yep.
I've always told you how attractive I was to a wagon. I don't know what it is.
Good.
I don't know what it is with wagons, but when you put a wagon with a lot of horsepower together,
fun.
and it's just a sexy looking car too.
Yeah.
I mean, Audi has a great lineup of great looking cars, you know, but like that car for some reason just screams dadmobile, grocery getter that has 600 freaking horsepower.
It does.
You put a couple little freaking mods on that thing, you got what? 800 horsepower?
Yeah.
Basically what you have in your R8 right there.
Yeah, it's funny because people kind of will look at that car and think, oh, yeah, it's just an Audi wagon. And then when you're flying past Ferraris or past Lambos or whatever on the freeway, they're like, oh shit, like what the fuck is in that thing?
Right.
You know?
And you know what? That's how it is with my ISF.
Oh, that thing is fast.
Yeah,
Those
I'm not
cars are
flying past like Lambos or like anything like that. But for that car, everybody always asks me, they're like, hey, is that an IS 250? Is that a 350? Like, it sounds really good. Like, what's
like,
done to that?
Dog, it's the big one.
I'm like, no. I'm like, this is a specific F model. If you have a 2014, basically you have the most rarest like of the ISFs. But the thing's got a 5.0 liter V8. Yamaha made one freaking reliable motor when it comes to that. With mine, I got the Borla exhaust set up on it, which discontinued. And
that
dude,
thing screams.
Dude, it
that
really
car's
does.
Crazy.
But like, it's so funny because like I get a lot of people on the roads that want to like mess around with that car.
Yeah.
They just see it because I got coilovers on it, I got wheels, it's got Brembos on it. You know, thing comes stock with 6-piston Brembos and all that. Like the car looks pretty fast for what it is for a 4-door sedan. But when that thing takes off and people like realize what's in it, they're like, dude, holy shit.
Yeah,
I tell people,
rips.
I'm like, dude, it's got 407 or 412 horsepower from factory.
Yeah.
And then with my mods, I'm probably at like 430, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Dude, people do not believe it at all. It's crazy.
Until you line up with them and you fly past.
Exactly, right?
That car is cool.
The problem with that car is like the rear tires, they just want to spin. When you go, I think it's a lot better from like a roll, or honestly, my favorite is on the freeway, getting some downshifts in and letting that thing rip. Like once the V8 just kind of roars, I absolutely love that. So yeah, I might not be racing, you know, any Lambos or anything like that, but it's a very underrated car, almost like the RS6.
Yeah, for what you bought that car for, though, I mean, for the purpose that you had bought it for, I think it serves its purpose perfectly.
Exactly.
It's a daily driver. It sounds great. It looks great.
I didn't
it's
need
fun
another
to drive.
two-door,
Yeah.
I was
mean,
looking
it checks
into
all the boxes.
Yeah, even going into the S2000, like I were asking you about the S2Ks, and you're like, oh, why do you want to go to Miata and all that? But like,
you know, I have to give you shit.
well, I know your dad gives me shit all the time about it, dude. Every time I go to the car show, oh, great Miata there, Frank. Why don't you get a real V8? I'm like, Simon, I got a real V8, bro. I know you're compensating for something with your 1,200 horsepower and his Camaro, but it's like, dude, you know. So,
but I feel like for what you're doing in that car, though, the ISF is perfect. I mean, like you said, you brought it to Cars and Coffee. It's a car that you can take to a car show, but you can also drive it every day of the week. It's reliable. It looks great. I mean, it's a fucking awesome all-around car.
Listen, I'm not no millionaire or nothing like that. You know, like I wanted something that I could afford and it wasn't going to absolutely break my bank, you know? Like, hey, would I love to have a freaking R8? Like, yeah, I would. But right now, can I afford that with insurance? No, but it's fine. I got what I think is great for me. Like my 2-car lineup, I think right now is perfect for what I want.
And
really.
an oil change in my R8 is like $200.
No way.
Like $200. Yeah,
that's like how much it is on the Lexus.
Yeah, no, it's cheap. I mean, that's why I like that car. I've had so many people over the years be like, oh, why didn't you buy a Lambo? You couldn't afford a Huracan or whatever. It's like, okay, well, aside from the fact that I think the R8 subjectively looks better than a Huracan, and the fact that I don't look like one of these broke day trader guys that are like, oh, hey, look, I went and leased an LP 580 for $5,000 a month. Fucking idiots.
Yeah, right.
Like it's a car that like I can just take it to the Audi service center, or I go to Yost Auto Tailoring or up in Costa Mesa. Dude, it's like $200 for an oil change.
Yeah, see, that's not bad at all.
It's great. It's so easy to maintain. Same thing for the RS6. The SQ5 is even cheaper. It's like $160 for an oil change. Like, dude, you can't be that. You pay the Lambo tax with a Huracan, which is not only I'm not a huge fan of the way that the Huracan looks, or rather how it's dated. I liked it when it came out, but now a car that's been around for 10 years, 11, 12 years, whatever. I think it's looking dated, and I still look at my car and I'm like, oh yeah, it looks cool. It never looked quite as aggressive as a Huracan, but I think it's still something that has aged relatively well. But it's like, if I had the same car with a Lambo badge, it's like $1,000 to service it.
Yeah, it's like, why are you
they're
paying
not
that
doing
extra
anything
money?
different. It just has a different badge on the front of the car.
Exactly.
So,
but even with your car though too, you kind of went above and beyond when it comes to the aero on that car.
I went nuts with it,
you kind of went nuts with it, right? What did you do there?
Yeah, so I've got probably like 100 and something thousand into that car between like the blower and the aero and stuff. So
literally in carbon fiber and all.
In carbon plus the supercharger. So like the supercharger like 50 grand. Like
you got 6 figures just basically tied up in that.
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah. Obviously, I've done stuff. That car is a really nice amalgamation of the different brands that I work with. So like obviously got HRE 1016 and VF on that car. So 1016 obviously makes the carbon aero, you know that, but for the viewers, 1016 Aero or 1016 Industries is a carbon fiber manufacturer based in Long Beach that makes kind of like, I'm a little biased because I do a lot of work with the company, but they make, in my opinion, the best looking aero kits for
you can be biased.
Yeah, they make the best fucking aero kits. They make the best aero kits.
They make the best aero kits, 1016, right?
Yeah, so it is absolutely transformed the exterior of that car. So for the R8 specifically, it's the hood, lip, skirts, diffuser, and the wing.
Okay.
So all of the main kind of like big parts that can really make the car look bold are changed and altered by 1016. It's all like OEM spec carbon, so it's all 2x2 twill. That twill is the actual like kind of carbon fiber that's made out of. So it's that weave pattern as opposed to like forged or something else. So it all matches the factory weave on the car, which is really nice. And dude, it's transformed the car. I mean, it looks so much lower because the lip and the skirts and the diffuser actually pull the body lines of the car down, so it looks lower.
Yeah, it's low.
The hood's more aggressive. It has functional vents on the side of it.
Did you scrape it in my driveway?
I did.
Yeah, you did. Totally. Yeah.
Thankfully, I have scrape stop on the bottom of it, so I mean that stops it from like bottoming
out. Scrape stop? No, that's your dad's company, right?
It is. That's the dad's company.
Okay, so what is that? Just it prevents helping the lip from.
It's like Slip-Low, but it works. Okay. So Slip-Low, like the rubber strips you put along the front, they suck. Scrape stop is the plastic pucks that actually just scrape along the ground, so they take the brunt of the impact if you scrape the car or whatever else, like going up into your driveway.
Yeah.
I backed up in and I scraped the front of it. The scrape stop, the little plastic pucks, take the brunt of the force, and so that way I'm not destroying my $4,700 carbon lip.
Okay, so basically that's the best of the best right there.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah. Again, I'm biased.
Yeah, well, it's your dad's company.
It is.
You should be a little bit biased,
I'm biased
too. Now, speaking of the family and all that too, okay, so I was thinking about this the other day, right? I'm like, James's dad's name is Simon. His mother's name is Sarah.
Yep.
His sister's name is Sophie. How the fuck did they call you James?
I got left out.
Why didn't they call you Steve? Like, why didn't they call you? Why didn't they name you something with an S?
I've always said that shit. I'm like, I got left out. You have 3 S's and a J. It's bullshit, man.
I don't respect it, to be honest with you.
I'm excluded. They're pushing me out of the family.
It's Sarah and Simon. I'm gonna talk to them the next time they come in. Yeah,
you should. You gotta give them shit for it.
Yeah, but the family, honestly, these guys are absolutely awesome. When I go to the car show, I see you and your dad. You're doing all the filming. You got your walkie-talkies and all that, and like
we're yelling at people.
Oh yeah, they are yelling at people. Now I'm even like extra appreciative because when I come to the car show, I cruise right up and I get my spot. They save me a nice spot right up front, So I feel extra special, but like I really do love going to the car show. Just because it's such like it's the weekly thing where you get to do with your family is just so cool. See, your fam's like my fam basically, and that's why
we love you.
Yeah, and I do. So I had to get a little emotional here with that, but
it's great, man. We love having you at Cars and Coffee. We love, obviously the fact that I got to work with you for so long.
No, you were working for me. Huh?
I was working for the big boss.
Yeah, you were,
I was working with Big Daddy Orlando.
Yeah, I was the big bartender, and you were just the servant out here. It's like, Frank, where's my drinks? Where's my drink?
Give me my
hold
drinks,
on, bro,
man.
10 minutes, they'll be up.
Nah, man, it's getting to work with you and then getting to see how you've intertwine yourself in the car culture in Southern California, and you've become a part of the Southwest Cars and Coffee family. So we love having you there.
Yeah.
You're there like almost every week. You support.
I try. And I tell everybody about it. Yeah, I'm always bringing people in. Like for instance, one of the regulars had just moved down, and he knows that I love cars and talk about it all the time, and so does he. And so this past Saturday, I brought him. You weren't there, but I did bring.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But I had brought him over. Dude, he's never been to this car show, and he was so stoked. He's like,
awesome.
bro, where do all these cars come from? It is absolutely crazy the amount of cars that you guys get into there.
Did you tell him that you own all of the cars? You actually own every car.
No, I didn't tell him that. No. I just, I told him, I was like, hey, I know a guy who might own all of this, basically. And I was like, don't worry, I'm going to get us in or whatever.
Yeah.
So, like, I brought him to it, and it's like, people that don't know about it, they go to it for the first time. It's like an unbelievable thing, You could see so much there.
Yep.
Because it's not just your supercars, it's your old cars, your supercars, your JDM cars. The motorcycle scene is pretty big out there as well, too,
Everything. We try to be as inclusive as possible. We want everyone to come. We want the guys with the S2Ks. We want the guys with the R8s. We want the guys with the muscle cars, the classic cars, everything, the motorcycles.
There's some weird stuff that goes out there, too.
We love the quirky shit because, honestly, that's the stuff that pulls more attention. Like, we're known for having a massive supercar crowd there, but truthfully, the really quirky, like, one-off stuff or, like, the really rare stuff from Japan or whatever. Like, we had 42 LFAs. Where the fuck are you going to see 42 LFAs?
Dude,
I know as a fellow Lexus enthusiast, you saw that.
I could not believe that.
Yeah.
So for you guys that don't know, Lexus LFA, it was only made 1 year.
Yep.
2012. V10 engine. This is like
Yamaha built.
Yeah, Yamaha built. Since I'm a Lexus guy, like this is one of my dream cars. Now each one of these cars is well over $1 million at this point. So naturally, I was trying to get somebody on the show with the LFA. Everybody's from all over the world, so it's kind of hard to do that. Not that big of a deal. I was talking to one of the owner's sons who told me that Lexus flew everybody out. They shipped all their cars. They were staying over in Newport Beach. I forget exactly. Pelican Hill, bougie hotel over here in Southern California, as to where they should go, to a very bougie place.
If you want $1 million car,
if you want $1 million car.
saying.
It seemed like such a freaking cool event, and it's so rad to see Lexus do something like that.
I think they're the only manufacturer that would actually do something like that for their owners. I mean, you hear about people like Porsche doing stuff for, like, the Carrera GT owners. Or Lambo doing stuff for their Sienna or their Countach owners or whatever. But for Lexus to actually contact Lexus had to go out of their way to get in contact with the new owners of these cars, because obviously it's a car that's 13 years old.
Yeah,
it's not
the original owner for everyone,
for a lot of people. So they get in contact with the vast majority of these owners across the U.S. Literally, as you said, they fly the people out, they ship the cars out. They ship
all the cars.
Congregate in Pelican Hill, and then they plan a ton of events. They had a police escort from Pelican Hill the entire way down to Cars and Coffee. And I've never heard of another manufacturer doing that. No other manufacturer has ever done that.
I've never seen it.
Crazy.
So now I want to know. So I get that Lexus does all this. Who reaches out to you guys, like at the Cars and Coffee? Like how do they reach and be like, hey, was it Lexus that reached out to you and be like, hey, we got 43 that we need parking spots saved for all of them, or how does that work?
No, so it's funny. There was actually another agency that reached out to us, and they basically sent us a DM on Instagram like, hey, we want to bring a ton of Lexus LFAs to your event. And I read that, I get thousands of DMs a week, and I'm like, okay, these guys want to bring a ton of LFAs, yeah, whatever. And then I get an email, and it's like, hey, this is so-and-so from this agency. We want to bring out, a ton of LFAs. And so I just shoot back an email like, yeah, okay, cool. Let's hop on a call and talk about it. And then they're like, oh, we're working with Lexus USA. We want to bring these cars out. And I'm like, oh shit, this is serious. Because I've heard of people saying, I want to bring out Save Me Spots. And it's like, that stuff. People will reach out and, kind of talk out of their ass. As they like to do, just to try and get a response from the page. Well, when you hear
43 or whatever LFAs, you're like, okay, is this really serious? That's like $50 million in cars right there.
Well, yeah. And aside from that, it was a world record. No amount of LFAs have ever been in that place together, ever. Like even when they were producing the cars, even at the manufacturer, even at the Lexus HQ in what they were made in Japan, I believe. No one's ever had that many LFAs in one space ever.
So this was just world.
It was a world record.
Okay, so that's really cool, and that's gotta feel good that they all went to your car show.
It was pretty neat. It was a very cool feeling. Yeah, so we're super lucky to be able to work with manufacturers like that, and yeah, it was crazy. So they just reached out and said, hey, we want to bring him. We got everything set up that I bankrolled. They went and took care of all the cars over the weekend, and made sure they were detailed and stuff.
That's really cool. That's rad.
Yeah, so it was awesome.
But have you guys had anything happen before when it comes to owners and people touching their cars, or?
Not really, not on purpose. I mean, we're lucky that we have a very respectful group of people that come to the show. It's been good to manage that, and people are respectful. So
yeah, and now
we're lucky.
When I come to these shows, the dogs and that are there, it's almost like a
a lot of dogs.
There's a lot of dogs.
A lot of dogs.
There's even that one dog. There's a little corgi that they put around in a little Ferrari.
There is.
And then they drive him around on a little freaking dude. It's hilarious.
RC car. It's funny.
Yeah, it's little RC cars. I swear to God, dude. I remember one car show too. There was people there, like vendors in the back, selling puppies. Basically, there was one guy.
I remember that.
You remember? Yeah, he was like in a van. He was like selling puppies.
He's trying to sell dogs. Yeah, that we have to shut that down pretty quick.
Okay, all right. Now let's talk a little bit too about the apparel that you guys have. South OC.
Cars and Coffee merch.
Yeah, the merch. Now I'm actually wearing this merch right now.
I should be wearing some too.
I didn't get the memo, man. I don't know if you could see though. Maybe you can get the back right here. Ah, yeah, you see that?
It's clean, man.
Dude, this stuff's nice. Now, not only am I wearing the shirt today,
wearing the socks. Look at that.
Bro.
Look at that, man. You're dialed.
I don't know if you can see this, bro. But come on, South OC.
You're dialed.
Dude, the clothing. You guys are always having some cool stuff, but you're always dropping some shirts too that are like relevant to what's going on.
Yeah.
Let's say there's like some badass car coming next week. And
Red Bull F1 is a good example.
Yeah, the Red Bull F1. Like I
Yeah.
have that shirt as well too. Like how cool is that? Like these guys had a freaking Red Bull F1 car.
Sebastian Vettel's car.
Oh, okay.
It was from like 2010 and 2011. It was an RB08, I want to say.
Which is still wild to get an F1 car. Like.
Well, yeah. So we had that one, and then we had another display car that was liveried for Verstappen and someone else. So we've had 2 activations.
Okay.
So yeah, we did one in 23 and then one last year. So we will be doing one this year as well, which
really?
I haven't announced yet, but you know, first on the Drink or Drive podcast.
So you're first to hear it. There's going to be another F1
We will
car.
be doing another one probably
Which is so
September.
cool to see because like I feel like within the past couple years, F1 racing has gotten huge, to be honest with you.
Drive to Survive has like blown it up. Like that's the Netflix special. I'm not sure if you've seen it.
Oh, I've watched every season. Trust me, I love it. Me too.
It's so good. Yeah, that has really blown it up, and we've seen a massive response, like a overwhelmingly positive response to getting those cars at the show. So. It's been good.
It's cool to see that like this isn't just like a male-dominated racing, sport. All the females are starting to get into this, and like,
for sure.
and they love all this stuff too, which is rad.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, obviously, you've seen on F1 like the Williams team, like the daughter of the family that own Williams is very, very prominent in the sport, and I think females are going to continue to women are definitely getting more and more and more into the space, which is awesome. I mean, it's
which I think is awesome too.
So.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. My dream is to drive an F1 car one day. Now, I don't think that's like an obtainable dream because of like how much. I
wouldn't say that.
But anything is obtainable, I guess. But like, how do you go about driving an F1 vehicle like that? Like to be like that is a lot of like liability. That's a lot of money right then and there. Like, let's be real. Like, I've done the Porsche driving experience. I've been on the track with, cars before. Yeah. But you put me behind an F1 car, like, I'm probably crashing it, to be honest with you. I don't know how to handle that car. I even watch these professional drivers. They give it one little too much gas in a corner. They're spinning out. I'm like, bro, I would be in a wall going way too fast. It's crazy.
Realistically, driving an F1 car is very hard to do unless you drive something that's either decommissioned or, set up for a rental or whatever. Formula 2 and Formula 3 cars are easier to get into and easier to drive. I
don't want to drive a Formula 2 or Formula 3 car.
Well, it's not.
I want to drive an F1 car.
It's not that different, but I mean, if you crash a Formula 1 car, you're out. $20 million.
Oh yeah. Well, not my $20 million.
Someone, it might be yours if you're the one that crashed.
That's why nobody's letting me drive it. So.
Yeah, I mean that's something that's going to be pretty nuts. I mean, you'll have to get Verstappen or someone on your show and see if he'll let you.
Yeah,
see if he'll let you drive.
We'll work on that. But now talking about track and stuff though. Have you ever tracked your car? Is it something? So you have done it before?
Yeah, I have. I've only done stuff at the Thermal Club. So the Thermal Club is a private track out in Palm Springs.
Oh, private track.
It is. It's pretty cool. It's a private track. It's out in Thermal, California, which is like maybe 15-20 minutes from Palm Springs.
I love Palm Springs too.
I've had the R8 on track. I've had
with it supercharged or no?
Yes, with the supercharger. Yeah, I've had the R8 on track.
So how does it handle? Like you can drive it around these streets and all that to an extent. You can't go too crazy on it, but like, were you really pushing it in corners and all that?
I was. Yeah. So I have a really good. I have an all-in suspension set up on the car.
I got Olins myself, my guy. That's what I'm talking about. You're actually looking at the Olins Car of the Month winner for last month. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw your T-shirt actually. That was very cool.
Yeah, right. I wore that to the car show. So shout out Olin Suspension for keeping us dialed over here with our vehicles. I'm gonna keep using your suspension because it's absolutely great. Love
Shout out to Olin's, the next sponsor of Drink or Drive after Buffalo Trace, of course.
Yeah, Yeah. So the Olin suspension did great with the R8.
It's killer, yeah.
Okay.
So 3-way adjustable suspension, handles really well. I mean, the car is planted, it's slammed, it's on Cup 2s.
It's all-wheel drive too.
All-wheel
so
drive. Yeah, the car is great. I mean, it handled really well. It didn't overheat. I have these nice extended side blades on the car that VF makes that gives you way more airflow into the intercoolers right in front of where the right kind of behind the passenger and driver doors. So it keeps the internal temps low. So you can drive it pretty hard for a good amount of time before you start worrying about any overheating or anything like that. You don't get heat soak with this supercharger. It only runs at about 6-7 psi. So it's it's something that you can run really hot for a long period of time and not really notice any power loss or any any timing being pulled. But yeah, no, it's been great.
But for the most part, not your daily at all. You just
not anymore.
Not anymore.
It was for 2 years. I dailied it for I dailied it for a year and a bit.
Which is crazy that they could just daily in an R8 around, you know?
That's what the car was meant for.
Yeah.
That's what it was meant for.
Yeah, but what about like when you got to put stuff in there, you know?
The frunk is huge. I'll show you the frunk. It's massive.
It's called the frunk?
The frunk. You can fit a full-size suitcase in the frunk.
Really?
I could in the 720.
That's a funny word. The funk or frunk?
The frunk.
Frunk? That's what they call it?
Yeah, the frunk.
The frunk?
It's the front trunk.
Yeah, see, I don't have any front trunks. Both of my engines are in the front so far.
Well, you know,
I'm not quite there yet.
You'll get there. I mean, hey, even a Tesla has a frunk. But yeah, the 720
Don't get me started with those, please. No. See, when I get the NSX, I will have a frunk.
You will, yes.
I will, yeah. That is my next car, is Acura NSX.
The 720 and the 765 have undoubtedly the biggest frunk of any car that I've seen.
Okay, so 720. I know
subject.
This is sore subject, okay?
Yes.
And you're probably a little sore right now.
I am sore, yes.
Okay. Let's talk about this.
It'll be a week ago. No, it was a week today.
Exactly 7 days ago. What happened?
I spent a very long time finding the perfect 720S. So I've had my R8 for a while. I said, fuck it, we're going to buy a 720. So,
which you told me you were going to get. You've always wanted the 720.
Yeah, I wanted it for a while.
You didn't know exactly what spec yet, but...
I knew the spec that I wanted, I just couldn't find it. And I finally found it, and I bought the car. So I bought the car from Vegas Auto Gallery. It was a 2019 720S Performance. Stupid high MSRP, like an almost $400,000 MSRP on the car. It was.
I mean, the thing is gorgeous out.
Yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, it's 2019 720S Performance. It wasn't just a normal 720; it was an MSO 720. So MSO is McLaren Special Operations. So essentially, they take the car, take it to a separate factory or separate division to do different upgrades. So it had a like. I don't want to say a one-off, but an incredibly rare paint color called Amethyst Black.
Yep.
So MSO Amethyst Black is like it's a really, really deep purple. It looks like black under most lights until you shine light on it. And then it's a really kind of vibrant, like pinkish purple color.
So pretty.
It was crazy. I mean, that was like a ridiculous, like I want to say like a $30,000 or $40,000 option.
From factory.
From factory.
Okay.
Full Alcantara interior, everything was dialed, had 360 camera, had a ton of options on the inside, like upgraded stereo, whatever.
The interior was nice.
The
nice. Alcantara was all gray, right?
Yeah, all gray.
Oh my God, it was so gorgeous.
I bought it. It was one owner, 6,000 miles. I put like 1,000 miles on it. And then last Wednesday, a driver with no lights, no plates, nothing, flew through an intersection and T-boned me.
Completely totaled.
Completely totaled. The car's fucked.
First off, you're still here, which is great. Cars are replaceable. But
yes,
honestly, after seeing the pictures, right away I text you and I was like, bro, I had no idea. Thank God you're still alive, and all this. And then he's like, okay, we're still good to do the shoot next Wednesday. I'm like, bro, really? I'm like, it's so wild. So my main concern was making sure that you were okay.
I appreciate it.
But like, dude, like, talk to me about like what happened afterwards, right when you got hit. Like, what did you kind of like what happened?
I didn't black out at all. Like I've been in 2 other accidents. Thankfully, no accident I've ever been in has ever been my fault. I got hit by an actual crackhead in my silver Panamera, which I knew you during that time.
Okay.
And then I got ran off the road when I was younger in a Camaro that I had. Lady like smacked the back of me. Mm-hmm. And then now. Yeah, as I said before, the guy, it was some guy, I don't know, demographics or whatever, but he was driving like a really old Suburban. He had no lights on, he had nothing on. I was driving with Jasper, who's another guy that I work with, and we were going and taking some photos and videos or whatever of the cars, and we were going from one location to the next. I was cruising down the street, this guy flew out from a stop sign, no lights, nothing, just smacked me.
Just intersect. Now another car was involved too, right?
Yeah, so the guy hit another car on the way past me and then drove off, fled the scene. So it was a hit and run.
Okay, so he hit you first.
He hit me first. So he hit me straight on the side, like and then he clipped the front of another car that was like turning in. So like I was going straight, he came, hit me, and then bounced off, hit another car, and then just kept driving. fucking crazy situation. Honestly, lucky to be here. The carbon tub in the 720 is undoubtedly the most safe, rigid setup for any car that I've ever been in. I mean, it absolutely saved my life. Like, obviously, the guy just hit and ran, just left the scene.
So wild.
Thankfully, I had a ton of witnesses that were there. There were people on the neighbors app, and people were talking about this guy driving with no lights, flying down side streets about an hour prior. So, you know, there were people there that corroborated my story, and, you know, they actually saw what happened. So I wasn't at fault, obviously, but State Farm, my insurance company, was great, and they were easy to work with, and they pulled footage and saw what happened, and they're like, you know, okay, obviously you're not at fault. So, you know, they're taking care of the car, but yeah, man, it fucking sucks. Took me so long to find that car.
Dude, I know. And it literally, you've had that car for how long?
Like a month. It was like 28 days or something.
28 days. Is that the least amount of time you've owned a vehicle before?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the shortest ownership experience of any car.
It's crazy how, like, I know what you're talking about, how when you sit in, you got to dip down, and it has that extra, I feel like that's a very good protectiveness for you.
For sure. I mean, the tub is so safe.
It's all carbon fiber or what?
Full carbon fiber, yeah. Okay. So it's full structural carbon. It's super, super lightweight. And dude, it's I don't want to say it's indestructible. It's virtually indestructible though. Okay. I mean, I got hit by an absolute tank of a car. He pushed me off down an embankment, and both myself and the passenger were able to get out of the car and walk away. Yeah.
You guys are extremely lucky when it comes to that.
Yeah, the only lasting injuries, his broken nose, I have a burst eardrum, and like, aside from that, I mean, to walk away from an accident like that with injuries as minor as we had, dude, it's a miracle. It's a miracle.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking wild.
I'm just happy that you guys are still here. Honestly, cars are always replaceable. Yeah. You're not. You're one of a kind.
Stop it, you.
Don't start blushing on camera, okay? Don't start blushing. Yeah. So, the 720S, we were going to do an episode with that. Not a big deal. Doesn't even matter. That car's gone. You probably got something that you're going to get down the road next.
We'll have something else.
Do we have any maybe hints or anything?
Either a 765 or a Aventador SV would be kind of an appropriate replacement. I'll probably get rid of the R8 and then buy something else. Having two supercars at once is fun, but it's not practical. I don't need two supercars. I'll wait until I have the house, sell the R8, and then buy something stupid. Speaking of the R8, would you like to drive it?
We probably should go for a drive in this
thing. We should go for a
drive. Woo! It's crazy.
Welcome to the old shitbox, my friend.
Oh,
the old shitbox.
This thing actually is pretty shitty, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so what do we got going on in here, dude? Like, I see...
It's a fucking spaceship, so...
Wow. Is this like a carbon fiber aftermarket wheel?
It is. Yep.
Who's that made by?
So, Carbon-tastic, so it's satin carbon, which matches the factory carbon on the interior of the vehicle.
Wow.
This is all factory. The entire interior is factory.
Okay.
Aside from this, and that's about it.
Nice. These little gauges, what do these things do over here?
Lift in the car and then you find out.
How do you even turn this car on?
I'll let you figure it out.
Oh, is it engine start?
Probably, if I would have guessed. Okay, so this is all your air conditioning. You have the Recaro bucket seats. Factory Recaro buckets.
I like these.
Look at this shit. Recaro factory bucket seats.
I love that. I got a Recaro in mine.
These are factory though.
Okay, yeah, mine's not factory.
These are factory.
Mine's not factory, but
there was only a few of these were made in 2017 with the bucket seats. That's the only reason I bought it. I don't fit in the normal, like, if you have the comfort seats, you sit really fucking high up.
Okay.
Do not fit in that.
All right, so I fit perfect in this vehicle, and I'm 5'6", 6'2" on a good day.
Yeah, I was gonna say 5'6", but 6'2" laying down.
Yeah, 6'2" laying down, 100%. And you're probably around that height, right?
No, I'm like 3'1" laying down, 3'2" standing up. So.
Okay, let's not be ridiculous. All right, so this thing's probably got plenty of gas for me, right?
Yeah.
All right, what's up with these notes that it's giving me on this steering wheel?
It's because I've modified the vehicle, so we're gonna just tap through these.
Okay.
And then we're good to go.
Perfect. Is that a check engine light I see on in here?
It is. It may or may not have catalytic converters.
Really?
A minority may have stolen. No, I'm just kidding.
May or may not. All right, mine might
with the E40 software, it's very hard to run that with cats.
So. Okay, so now what are these modes for? Am I on
You're in dynamic.
Nope, how would you change it though?
You're in dynamic. So if you want to change it, you click drive select and you can toggle through it. So you have individual, which you don't want to do, comfort, auto. I leave it dynamic. Okay, you get the exhaust just open up.
Now dynamic, am I using paddle shifters?
You don't have to. You can if you want.
But I can if I want. And if I do want to use them, I have to probably go into like a certain mode, right?
No, so just pull down on the shifter. So push the button in and pull down. Yeah, there you go. You're in sport. There you go.
Okay, so you're in sport.
Good to go. Okay. Press the parking brake off. Push down. Good to go.
Boom. Look at that.
Easy. It's an Audi. At the end of the day, it's a Volkswagen.
In the end, it's just a Volkswagen.
It's a Volkswagen.
All right.
Off we go. You You can drive with paddles if you want. Do you want to?
Yeah, I love paddles.
Let me flick it over.
Perfect. Paddles are great in my opinion. So what are all these buttons you're pushing for me on here?
Just setting you up so you can see where we're going.
Just setting me up for success.
Setting you up.
Okay, so now I wanted to ask you a couple other things too. Now, Riley, my car buddy, the S2000 buddy,
Yep.
he wants to know if you weren't driving this car, what car would you be driving, basically?
Ooh, that's tough. I mean, there's a few things that I'd probably get instead of this. Probably, like I said, I mean, obviously the 720 was cool. I was considering getting rid of this for a while as a cup, so I'm going to close your valves. Either a 720 or I would say an Aventador, like an Aventador S or an Aventador SV, or a 600 LT. Honestly,
yeah.
I'm a big McLaren fan. You know, obviously I like Aventadors, or a 997 GT3 RS.
That's what I want. The 997.
As someone that has an S2K, I feel like that's a very like linear move, or I feel like it's a very natural move for you to go from an S2K, a high revving NA car to a high revving NA car. The characteristics are very similar from an S2K to a Porsche, but obviously the Porsche is pretty balls to the wall.
Yeah,
pretty crazy.
All right, we got a little cop here next to me. Let's give him a little.
We got the cop action. Look at this.
Look at this. I love this.
Shout out Orange County Sheriff's Department.
Shout out to the Orange County Sheriff's Department for not pulling me over just yet. So, me neither.
Put your valves on.
Alright, let's put these valves back on. Are we in the shift sport mode?
We're in sport mode, yeah, so you'll shift. Sounds good. You hear the V10. I mean, what I was talking about earlier on, in terms of drivability, the car still feels like a stock R8. I mean, it's very, very drivable. It doesn't feel super twitchy. You hear the V10?
Oh, it's great.
It's pretty
loud. Oh my god, it's so nice. It sounds so good, bro. Are you kidding me? Wow. Dude, this is crazy. You just drive this like every day, bro?
I do, man.
Bro,
well, not every day. I drive it a couple times a week.
Who are you, bro? Now I want to know too, the car show, is this where it originally started in San Clemente at the outlets, or did you guys have it somewhere else before, or like what's kind of the deal with that?
Yeah, so we in terms of South OC Cars and Coffee, we actually started it at the Talega Target. So
Talega?
Yeah, this was 2015, and so
you started at the Target?
Yeah,
dude, no way. I just told Clarissa this would be perfect for a car show.
Yeah,
I told her that would be the perfect space for it.
So that was 10 years ago. So we started at the very beginning of 2015, and that was the first iteration of what we would call South OC Cars and Coffee. Now that didn't last very long. We kind of had unofficial permission from the Target manager, and corporate kind of caught wind of what was going on, and they shut it down pretty fast.
Okay.
We moved from there to Talega Village Center, which was just down the road, and in theory should have been a much better location. You know, it had a coffee shop, it had Las Golondrinas, so I had like, you know, people could get breakfast, burritos, tacos, whatever.
Yeah, it had everything there.
And restrooms, you know, whatever else. But it just didn't have the synergy that we had at that Target location. And I mean, I think that kind of goes to show how much the location of an event has in terms of, you know, an effect on how successful it will be.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
are we in the paddle mode? I gotta be in the paddle mode.
Let's go.
See you later.
Off we go. We're good to go. Give it a little rip.
Oh my god, I love this car! Are you kidding me, dude? What?
I never get sick of this.
Oh, I'm in a spaceship right now, kid. This is absolutely wild.
It is very fun. I love this car.
If you want to get a little adrenaline, all you gotta do is just
Off we go.
That's all you gotta do, dude. Oh my god.
This car is so fun.
Wow, it just sounds so good on the downshifts. So let's talk about the exhaust in this car, right? This thing sounds freaking insane. What's the deal with this exhaust on this car?
So it's a full race setup, catless setup, full valve rear section. So the valves on the steering wheel still work, which are really nice. So a lot of people, when they buy these cars, they get a full valveless setup, which it's much louder, but I think it's just stupid and impractical. I like being able to drive this car quietly, so that's the main reason I went with it. It's the guys from Voodoo Design that player in the back.
It's just comfortable. And this is the thing with driving this car right now. Like, I'm in 6th gear, I'm in the dynamic, I'm in the sport mode. The thing's quiet. I'm literally just, I'm cruising, you know?
Yeah,
like,
it's good.
I'm doing 44 miles per hour. This is nice. It's not uncomfortable by any means. These Olin, dude, the Olin suspension in this,
It's
like, I have Olins, but yours are 3-way adjustable, correct?
Yeah.
So, I mean, totally different from what I have. I mean, the price is probably like $10,000 plus more from what you have compared to the Honda, to be honest with you. But like, this is extremely comfortable, you know? Like, I could see how you did daily drive this car for as long as you did.
I mean,
sorry. Oh my god. Why is it so, oh my, the pops, dude. What is going on right now, dude? The freaking pops in this thing.
Flames with this massive
So I kind of forgot this in the video, right? The reason why I smoked the glass, do you know why?
No, why?
Because this thing shoots flames out the exhaust. Now, how often does it shoot flames, and like, how do you acquire this to shoot flames?
Pretty often. You have to be catless to shoot flames in these cars.
Okay.
But for this platform, I mean, I have a pretty rich map in this at the moment for the E40 software, so it shoots big fireballs. I mean, and it shoots them often. It's a lot easier to see it at night, obviously, but we'll overlay some B-roll of the car shooting flames.
So I'm basically going to be able to, in this season, I'm going to be able to drive all my dream cars that I want.
You should.
So basically, I'm just using all you guys.
That's fine, man. You don't use
no, I'm not using you, obviously.
You give me one of the best cocktails I've ever had.
Yeah,
you get to drive my car. That's an even change.
Thank you.
All right, get on the freeway. Oh no, we got traffic.
Oh, are you serious? Hey, well, that means we get to launch it from the light.
Lady's ready to race us.
She is not ready to race, dude. She has no idea.
She wants to smoke?
She doesn't want any of this smoke. This guy definitely doesn't want this smoke.
This guy wants it. You know what he wants? He wants a smoked old fashioned. But guess what? He can't fucking have one.
Well, does
the
he have
Blacklist is for me, baby.
Does he have an R8?
Nah.
No,
well,
exactly.
He might have one at home. You never know.
Yeah, he might. He might. I feel like if I were driving this car every day, dude, I feel like I would just have, like, you get so many looks, you know? Like, it's just, hey, hi, how are you? Maybe shake some hands, kiss some babies, you know? Like, that's basically what you gotta do. Just... Oh my god, are you kidding me, dude?
The Supercharging propels it to 0 to 60 in 2.2 seconds, which is pretty wild. That's on a non-prep surface. So, this thing moves.
Yeah, it does move.
It's fun.
Oh my god.
There's actually no traffic on the freeway, it was just that light.
myself driving one of these every day down the road. Just no, I know I'm going to one day, to be honest with you. Like I've always loved cars. You know, my first car was a 1997 Nissan 240 SX. You know, like I've always been into cars, like JDM cars and all that. If you want to be on drugs but aren't really on drugs, go ahead and buy yourself an Audi R8. Put a VF Engineering Supercharger in it, and just do yourself a favor. These are the only drugs that you're ever gonna need in your life. Is this car right here? So
I'm pulling that clip out and using that on the VF socials. I hope you know that.
Yeah, pull the clip for sure.
Pull the clip.
Pull the clip. That's all you need, dude. Oh my.
I'm glad you like it.
Dude.
Thank you for enjoying my car.
I don't like it, bro. I absolutely love it. Are you kidding me? Like, I don't want to give the keys back to you. That's the thing, dude. Like, are you sure you don't want to take the Lexus, or you don't want to take the Honda to whatever you have to go do right now? Like, you don't want to just drive a 250 horsepower car? Like,
no, the S2K, I can't knock the S2K. That car is awesome.
No, I do love the S2K. To be honest with you, I got such an itch for driving right now that I probably am going to drive in the S2K.
You should.
Yeah, I probably will.
Take it for a rip.
I'm going to take it for a little rip.
Well, my friend, it's been a pleasure.
James, honestly, I can't thank you enough for letting me experience this car. I really hope that cocktail that I made was well worth this exchange.
It was well worth it. Absolutely.
And you know what? I'm super excited to see what you have in the future with your business, the car show. Like, I want to see what's next too. Like, I've seen you come up from day one and move yourself forward into this position. I couldn't be more proud of you.
Thank you, brother.
So I really want to see what's next and everything. And I can't thank you enough for being on the show, dude.
Thank you, dude. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Till next time, brother. Appreciate you.
Till next time.
We're in neutral?
Yeah.
You want to hear this thing, folks? Are you kidding me? One more time, just for everybody. Oh, behave.